She almost fell.
She almost fell.
But I didn't.
Bring us in.
Bring us in.
Huh? On me?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, we're back with more Baltimore Flava Radio, and we have our first and only guest for the evening, Baltimore Sun.
What's good? What's good?
What's the S.O.N stand for?
Shining over negativity.
My man.
I just go by S.O.N. now. I dropped the Baltimore.
Oh, okay, bow wow.
No.
All right.
Nah, it's too many people with a similar name, so I had to drop the Baltimore from mine. So
I was gonna ask you that, so if you
Yeah.
kept that and like you got big, like
nah, I had to drop
they're
that.
gonna be like, oh, from Baltimore, like you want nobody to stay.
It's funny because
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because that was like part of the reason because like I used to be in the military, so I like been around the world, so I always represent Baltimore. But when I came back home, it's like it was a Baltimore son of Baltimore son. Just so many different things. So I'm like, with me, I don't just stay in the city. So I don't want to go somewhere like I can be in New York and they might not like Baltimore. So you say Baltimore son, they just start booing me right away. So if I come out, say I'm S.O.N, then afterwards, you know what I'm saying? If they real, they be like, yo, where you from? And I tell them, if they real, they can't act like they don't like me. You know, if they corny, they can start acting like it. But, you know, I don't want to get prejudged. But they know I'm from B-more everywhere I go. It's in my rhyme, so you know what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah.
Man, so let me see. When the last time you were here, man?
so it was over a year ago.
Over a year ago,
Yeah.
man. What's been new with you, man? It's been a minute.
Oh man, working music, clothing line is getting bigger, it's growing. Music is growing. I'm working on the Be More to Miami project right now. I think since was the Be More to France joint out the last time I came on?
It was coming. It was on its way.
Well, that came out. Then we did the Be More to Denmark. Now we working on Be More to Miami. The Sun Media is jumping off with the videos, and I just been busy, man. I just been busy.
So with these different Baltimore to wherever, are you working with artists from each location that you?
Actually, what I'm doing on the Be More to France joint, we did, but basically where it's to, the producer is from that location.
Okay.
So my man MWP from Denmark produced the whole Be More to Denmark, and the artists are from Be More. So it was like me, Ill Conscious, Don Street, Seneca the Misfit, and Maccabees. This Be More to Miami, my man DJ Proof from Miami, he producing. He on some Ninth Wonder like Jay Dilla type deal, you know what I mean? And then I added a couple of more MCs to this one. So it's just to get people's voices heard, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Just do it like that. I just start getting tracks from my man Obo One. We doing a Be More to Germany next, so you know, I'm just trying to leave that as my legacy, you know, for part that I contributed to the Baltimore music scene.
So for people who do not know you, let's go back to the very beginning. When did it all?
I wasn't here last year.
Yeah, so got you covered. You know.
Man, it all started for real. I might be giving my age away a little bit, but I joined the Air Force. I was over in Korea in '95, and they had some talent shows on base over there. So I was messing around. I used to always like act in school, do dramatic reading contests and all that type of stuff. Write poetry. So I went up there and I just started rhyming. Like I wasn't nice enough, but I was like, yo, I almost ended up winning, I guess, because a lot of people knew me. So it was like a popularity contest.
Right.
So I was like, I might be on to something. I just kept rhyming. Fast forward, because I did a whole lot of. I never hustled or sold drugs, but when I started rhyming, that's what all my lyrics was about. I grew up on Greenmount, so that's all I saw. You know what I'm saying? 2003, I got to Japan, Tokyo, so I met my group called Grown Man. We formed a hip-hop collective over there, and we started making real music. So I say I really became an MC in 2003, and we put out 2 albums while I was over there. So
That's what's up.
So how did the clothing line come about then?
the clothing line came about. I had a logo that I was using, the Baltimore Sun logo. My man from Virginia had designed it for me when we was in Japan. I started putting it on shirts, and then a couple people was like, "Man, I need that," and I always was into fashion. So I always had a plan to have my own clothing line one day. I just didn't know which direction I wanted to take it. And then when I dropped the Baltimore from my name, I was like, well, shining over negativity, because I'm a positive person. So that's how I came up with Sun Clothing. You know, I got Honor Amongst King shirts. Excuse me. Honor Amongst Queens for the woman, Born a Queen for the women, and the girls, Born a King for the boys. And just staying on a positive tip, you know. everybody loves shirts. It's starting off as shirts now, but I'm planning on making it a
Everybody
full
like shirts
clothing
and
line.
hats.
You know,
I'm just
so
waiting for the hoodie pre-order because the hoodies is
You always waiting on a
fabulous.
pre-order. Somebody.
Hoodies is like that. The hoodies is
appreciate
right,
it,
man.
appreciate it. So yeah, I'm just trying to work this year. I got nominated for 2 Crown Awards. I was talking to my man Charles earlier. Actually, I got for best clothing line, and this is really like my second year in business, second full year, and then I got under the radar artist. And I was like, it's kind of funny to me because I've been rhyming since '94,
I was
and
just,
I've been around the world.
I
It's
was
like,
just about to say.
but the description says artists that we need to pay more attention to.
So,
And I'm the type of
that.
person where if you pay attention to me or not, I'm gonna keep doing what I gotta do anyway.
Right.
And I forgot where it was. I think it was on Facebook. Somebody was commenting, and they was like, "Well, I don't think Baltimore S.O.N should be up for this award because he's got like 12 albums out and he's been around for like 30 years already. Why is he considered under the radar?"
But you know what, Twan? I'm not in nobody clique.
Right.
You feel me? And like
Right.
now I live out in Waldorf, so I'm not out as much. So people don't see me, so they don't pay attention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, look, I just do whatever. You know what I mean? If you support me, you do. If you don't, you don't. I just worry about the people that do. But when I saw Under the Radar, I was like, wow, we got international releases, videos shot in Tokyo, Germany. I appreciate the mention though. You know what I mean? I
So
can't say nothing bad about
you
it.
think that was considered under the radar as far as the Baltimore scene
Oh, definitely,
is concerned?
definitely.
Even though you've been doing your thing here
Yeah.
for a minute.
You know, I was looking at it a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying like I've done a lot for the scene, but people don't always know because I don't broadcast
Right.
everything. Like I'm putting out back like 2 years ago. I had to shout out my man Robbie MC from the UK. We did a Global Domination compilation series where we took artists from like Sweden, Germany, UK, here in Baltimore, Korea, and we made like 30 songs. They was like 20 to 30 song compilations. We did like 3 projects. So a lot of time, it was a lot of artists from Baltimore first time even being on an international project or even messing with another person from another country. You know what I mean? So I done a lot. You know, I'm not the type to stick my chest out and everything because I do it because I love to do it. I was talking to somebody before. You was mentioning it earlier about the awards, and they was saying like they were mad because at first they didn't get nominated for an award, but the list hadn't came out yet, and they was talking about quitting. And I said it's one of two things. I said you either do it because you love it,
Right. Or you doing
or
it
you
for
do it for
everybody
the notoriety
else.
and the fame.
That's true.
Because if you do it because you love it, you don't care if two people paying you attention, you're gonna continue to do it. You know what I mean? But if you're doing it just for the notoriety and the fame, then don't say you're doing it for the love. You know,
That's
so
crazy. So these connections that you made internationally, this is basically from you being in the military and just having an opportunity to touch base with a lot of people over there.
yeah, man. I lived in Korea for a year. I lived in England for 5 years. I lived in Tokyo for 3 years. Been to Germany, Bosnia, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. And it's funny. I've been places and just like in the airport or something. Like I was in Germany and this dude asked me. He said, "Do you rap?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, "You look like a rapper," and I was like, "Oh, really?" I didn't know what that was supposed to mean.
I was about to say,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
if I asked you that.
I don't know.
Y'all
I ain't
look
know.
alike.
And then I was in London. I was at a bookstore down in Brixton, and a brother, he was a British dude, but he was like, "Man, you rhyme?" I said, "Yeah, I rhyme." He was like, "Yeah, I could tell." And then, so I have a love for the different cultures, man. Like when I first got to England in '98, that's like right around the time when Eminem came out, right? So up until that point, I thought all white rappers was wannabes. When I got to England, no lie, you don't see that around here. When I got to England, it was break dancers, graffiti artists, producers, MCs. All of them was white, and it was just their culture. Like they wasn't pretending or nothing. So I was like, man, my eyes was just open to so much that I wouldn't have known if I just stayed home. You know what I mean? So I always try to tell people like, there's so many avenues out here that we can use to just get your music out and network with other people. I mean, I'm talking to people from overseas every day, man.
And I was going to ask you, like, tell us the difference in the culture, the hip hop culture.
Oh, it's like New York, like for real. No lies, like back in the '90s overseas. I got a producer in Germany. It was my man had hit me up, and he was trying to get some work for artists in the industry. I won't say no names because they don't do nothing for me, but he said, German dude, he said, this is an A-list artist. He said, I don't like his music, so I'm not going to produce for him. And he was going to pay him. Like, you feel me? So that's how serious they are about
The craft.
yeah, their craft. They was like, I don't like his music. I'm not going to produce for him. I said, I can respect that.
Wow.
So, like, in Tokyo, we had parts of Tokyo where it was like the West Coast. Like, the Japanese dudes drove lowriders and wore bandanas and Chuck Taylors. Then we had parts where it was like the East Coast, you know, where they wore Timbs and Wu-Tang shirts. But I think England was the illest, man. Yeah,
I was about to say, where's your favorite place you been?
London. Yeah. Yep.
What do they have like a quote unquote underground culture?
Yeah.
With the rap and stuff.
Yeah, because like when you go to those places, like when I got to England, the British rappers were rapping with an American accent because they wasn't buying into the British stuff. So when I started cracking into the scene, it was kind of around the time when they was switching over to sounding British again. But I would go like down the West End, the Subterranean and stuff, and it'd be like house parties and just ciphers, and Jews was just getting it in. But then they had those pop artists whose songs they play. Just like, they had a pop artist whose songs they play on the radio. They don't play the real stuff. You know, in Tokyo, they got this one guy. He's the biggest guy over there. His name is Zebra. His father, like, owns all kinds of corporations. And he's a rapper just because he wants to be. Like, that type of thing. You know what I mean? His songs are all over the radio. But then you go down to Shibuya, them hole-in-the-wall spots, and it's busy down there. So
That's how it is, though. That's usually the best spots when you go down in the deep
definitely
parts of areas. And
Definitely.
That's where you see that. All right, so S.O.N Media.
yes, sir.
Talk a little bit about what you're doing with that.
I picked up a camera, and I'm always, when I'm out, I'm always looking at stuff, and I'm always like just seeing, like, picturing things. So my wife bought me a camera for my birthday like 2 years ago. Then I just started filming videos. I reached out to a couple of my people, Maccabees and Ill Conscious first, because I like their music, and I just did it like on the arm just for practice. So like now, I'm just filming. Like, you know, every time I shoot, I'm learning, getting better. So yeah, I appreciate that, man. Actually, the song you just played, that one with me and Mr. Hurd, we filmed that. We got parts. We shot down in Street Legal, and it's parts of 5 Points up in the Bronx. If people know what 5 Points is, the graffiti spot.
And that song is appearing on the Baltimore Flava Radio
Absolutely.
mixtape, by the way.
Absolutely,
I was
great
just
plug.
about to ask you. I was just about to ask you, what is the name of that song?
The name of that song is "It's Your Fault."
Okay.
And that's actually my man Proof from Miami, who's producing the Be More to Miami project. He produced that track for us. And my man Grasshopper from Belgium, he's on the cuts.
You mentioned Ill Conscious, man, and that dude, like, his name, people have been putting his name in my ear like crazy for the last couple of months or so, man. What's your relationship with him? You guys been working together doing stuff, or?
Me and his manager Marcus, we graduated from high school together. Matter of fact, while I'm here, shout out the city, the big castle on the hill. Y'all know it's the City Poly weekend, and we just came from up there. So shout out to the big castle on the hill.
Lisa, you throw her. What's wrong?
The black and orange, nice city forever. But he had been telling me about him. Like this been about 2 years ago. So the first time I saw him, I was like, yo, you nice. We need to work together. And we never ended up working together, but when we did the Be More to Denmark, I was reaching out to a few people, and he got on the joint. He's nasty. Actually, I judged a Baltimore MC battle. Shinye had put on. It was about 6 or 7 months ago when he took first place in that.
Yeah, the one on Essex.
Last night I went down to DC. He was a finalist in the Jacket for Beats joint, and he was a runner up. The boy from DC won. But the thing about Ill Conscious is he's so lyrical that those type of events, people don't got time to dissect what you're saying. You know what I mean? So I was telling him like, yo, you just gotta. The dude that won was nice. Don't get me wrong. So he didn't get robbed or nothing like that. But the dude controlled the crowd, and his lyrics were more simple, so the people could catch what he was saying and understand it. Yeah. So
did Jadakiss show up?
Jadakiss showed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was
Yeah,
real,
he
or
was
they
one
just
of the-
put
he was one of the
his
judges.
picture on the flyer to try to, you know what I mean?
Jack Daniels couldn't be sponsored.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we got another song from you.
Okay.
Don't shoot the messenger. Right, that's what I said. Oh, you were asking. Oh, I didn't see the question mark. No, we don't have another song. We just have that one. I'm sorry, I didn't see the question mark. I thought you were telling me.
They like, what?
You got to do that like this.
Wind his head. Okay. Well,
I mean, I could give
bad.
y'all some bars if y'all want to
Well,
hear
that's-
something.
yeah,
You know,
that's
that ain't
a
never,
commercial anyway.
that ain't never
Bring
no
that back.
problem, you
Bring
know.
that back.
All right, so we'll take a quick commercial break and then we'll let him come back and deliver some bars. We can't let him do the stand-up beat. We're going to let him do acapella.
Yeah, I don't even need a beat for real.
I was
don't
getting
even
ready
need a
to.
beat.
That's usually my insight. Yeah. All right, so we'll be back with some more Baltimore Sun. This is Baltimore Flava Radio, radioonfire.com.